Let's talk about how to use your new Island router. Open your Island app and connect to your router. If this is your first time connecting to your Island, you'll need to enter the PIN that was created when you or your installer set up your network. This PIN will allow anyone on your network to access your Island, so be sure to remember it, and for security reasons, don't share it. For this video, I'm using the web app, which you can connect to from any device on your local network by opening your internet browser and visiting my.islandrouter.com. I've formatted the web app so it looks exactly like the mobile app, which is more than likely what you're using to manage your network. As a reminder, Island is a wired router only. Any wireless devices will be managed by Island, but you must use wireless access points to connect to your Island. From the home screen, you can see devices, users, and groups. These are the fundamentals to managing your network. In general, devices show you what is online, users show you who is online, and groups show you what they are doing. A device is physical. It's something connected to the network, like your phone, computer, tablet, or TV. Users and groups are not physical. They're ways to organize and manage multiple devices simultaneously. We'll dig into that more later on. Since you see the Island logo here, you know your internet connection is good. If your internet connection is having issues, this logo will be covered by an exclamation point. At the top right of your screen, there's an icon with 3 dots. Clicking this opens up the settings to turn on Help Mode and Geek Mode. Geek Mode gives you access to more advanced networking features. For now, let's leave that turned off. Help Mode annotates everything on screen. This is for newer Island users. Let's turn that on so you can see the embedded help available to you throughout the app whenever you need it. Since help takes up more space and pushes app info further down your mobile screen, let's also turn help off for now for an uncluttered view. Let's start by heading to the Security tab by clicking on the umbrella icon at the bottom right of your screen. Here on the Security tab, we can set the security level for all devices on the network or just new devices. Island considers a device new until you've saved it, given it a name, or assigned it to a user or group. We can also use the Security tab to create both universal and custom filters. Over the next minute or two, we'll cover how these filters work. To set security levels, we use umbrella filters. Let's select that. The umbrellas are pre-configured, and by default, everything on your network is set to one umbrella. This is your basic threat filter. One umbrella protects your devices from accessing anything online associated with malware, hacking, botnets, spam, phishing, and other malicious content you may accidentally encounter. We strongly encourage you to keep this threat filter in place across all devices. 2 umbrellas includes your basic threat filter and also blocks pornography. 3 umbrellas blocks everything blocked under 1 and 2 umbrellas, as well as everything in our mature content category, including any sites associated with gambling, hateful and racist rhetoric, marijuana, self-harm, and various other categories. If you want to customize what is blocked or allowed by the 3 umbrella levels, you can do so by clicking on Umbrella Filters right here. Then you can set each subcategory to either be allowed or blocked. The umbrellas are hierarchical, so if something is blocked on 1 umbrella, it will also be blocked on 2 and 3 umbrellas. When you modify the umbrellas here, you are actually reconfiguring what each umbrella does, and this will be applied across the entire network. Instead, you may want to define custom filters. You'll use these to set more specific rules for devices, users, and groups. You can schedule the use of custom filters. For example, many Island users want to set a designated homework time during which their kids' devices can only access their school website. You can create custom filters by selecting Custom Filters right here. Custom filters give you several options. The first choice to make is whether the filter is location-based or content-based. Let's hit Create and look at our options. For a location-based filter, we can choose Country. Here, we can pick specific countries to allow or block. If we block a country, any sites hosted within that country will also be blocked. For a content-based filter, we'll choose Category. Hit Next and you'll see the same categories we saw under the umbrella filters. We can choose to allow or block these subcategories with our custom filter, and we can also choose to allow or block specific host names. These are web addresses such as facebook.com. To specify host names, click host names and then select either blocked or allowed, and hit the plus to add each host name. You'll need to add each host name individually here. Once you're done creating your custom filter, hit next and you can apply it individually to devices, users, and groups. If you're not sure where you want to apply the filter yet, just hit save. Let's create a custom filter to block social media for a productivity boost. In the social category, let's block social networking, dating, and online greeting cards. Since this is a productivity filter, we want to make sure certain productive social sites are still accessible. Let's add LinkedIn and Zoom as allowed host names. We'll hit next, name the filter Work Focus, and then hit save. We'll apply it later. Now, let's take a look at the Devices tab by clicking on the icon at the bottom of your screen that looks like a laptop and a phone. Here on the Devices tab, you can see how many devices you have, as well as how many are online. You can click on Devices or Online to see a full list of devices. Using the 3 lines at the top right, we can sort these devices to help find the one we're looking for in the list. Hitting back at the top left corner will return you to the Devices tab. Under Active Now, you can see a snapshot of network traffic over the last 10 minutes, with the devices using the most bandwidth at the top. You can hit more to expand that list as needed. Below the Active Now section, you'll see 3 buttons: Pause, Events, and VPN. This simply shows you how many, if any, devices are paused, how many events you have scheduled across all devices, and how many devices are on VPNs. If you scroll down further, you can see device usage over the past 24 hours. This also shows the devices with the most usage. You can select a device from the list to hide or show it on the graph. Like before, you can also hit more to expand this list and the number of devices shown on the graph. Let's return to the device list and select a particular device. I'm going to select Josh Work, my work laptop. Here, you can see that I've added this device to my user, Josh, and to my group, Productivity. I can click on Filters to see any filters I've set for this device. Right now, I just have the basic one umbrella filter that is inherited from the Security tab, which is why you see the lock icon next to it. If I select the pause icon, I can cut off all traffic for this device through the island. It will still be able to connect to devices on the local network. However, if you have multiple local networks connected to the island, the pause will halt cross-LAN traffic. This device will stay paused until I manually unpause it by clicking the pause icon again. By selecting the calendar icon, I can set up events for this device. Let's schedule a productivity control with my social media filter. I'll click the calendar to open the device's schedule, and then hit the plus to add a new event. At the top, I can choose what kind of event I want to create. Pause will let me shut off all network access to this device for the duration of the event. Filter will let me add additional filters to the device, and VPN will let me schedule when this device has access to certain VPNs, such as a school or work VPN. Since we're scheduling a custom filter, let's choose Filter. In the menu that appears, we'll hit the pencil to edit the filters, then the down arrow to expand our custom filters. We'll select the Work Focus filter we created earlier and hit Save. Now, we'll choose the dates for this filter to be in effect. Since it's for work, we'll schedule it to begin at 8:30 a.m. and end at 5:30 p.m. I'm going to leave the dates for right now because we'll use Repeat instead. Under Repeat, let's choose Weekly and select all business days Monday through Friday. I'm also going to set it to Never Ending. If I wanted to receive a notification before the event starts or before the event ends, I could also add that. Now that I'm happy with the event, I'll hit Save, and we're done. Now this device will automatically have the Work Focus filter applied weekdays during business hours. Continuing down the page for this particular device, I could select VPN to issue or revoke this device's access to any VPNs I have configured. Below those buttons, I can see a graph of this device's network utilization labeled Activity. I can choose to either see the week view or the live view, which shows traffic over the last 10 minutes. I also have a 24-hour graph of when this device was active. Let's look at the live view. Since we have the Work Focus filter applied to this device, let's see what happens when it tries to access something it shouldn't. I'll pull up a browser and attempt to navigate to facebook.com, and you see the page doesn't load, and an orange dot appears in that live view. Below the device's activity, I can see where this device has been going online, either by category, subcategory, or down to the individual host names this device has been accessing. I can also see what Island's filters have blocked. For example, we can see that Facebook was blocked. Backing out, if I click on a particular day on the activity screen, this area updates to show history for that day in particular. Sometimes you may not want Island to track activity. If we don't want to track activity for a device, user, or group, Island offers incognito mode. To put a device in incognito mode, click the three dots at the top, select Edit, and turn on incognito. You also have the option to still show any sites that have been blocked by any Island content filters you may have applied. While devices show you what is online, users show you who is online. Let's back out to the main devices page and select the users icon at the bottom center of the screen. Here we can see any users we've added. You'll notice all the same oversight on the main users page as we had on the main devices page. Let's select my user, Josh. On this page, you have all the same controls as you had on the devices page, except here you're controlling all devices associated with this user. For example, if I schedule an event here, it will be applied to all my devices. The activity details will show browsing history across all my devices, and if I want to put an entire user in incognito mode, I can do so by using the three dots again and choosing Edit. To adjust what devices are assigned to this user, I can either go back to the devices screen and assign each device individually, or I can select devices on this screen. From this menu, I can check off any devices I want assigned to this user. Let's navigate to the Groups tab by exiting this menu, selecting Back, and choosing the Groups icon at the bottom of the screen. Groups and users are very similar. The only significant difference is you can add users to a group. Many Island users like to have a user for each child in the house, as well as a group called Kids, so they set rules for all the kids' devices simultaneously. As another example, in business, you may want to create a group of all users in a particular department and set rules independently for each department. Another way to utilize groups is to sort devices by type of network traffic. Are they mobile devices, productivity devices, gaming devices, media devices? While users tell you who is online, groups can tell you what they're doing. You have all the same controls within groups that you have with devices and users, so you can schedule them, create filters, assign VPNs, or pause them entirely. Finally, let's talk about logging and notifications. Let's say I want to be notified if my laptop goes offline. We'll head back to the devices screen, view our list of devices, and select my laptop, Josh Work. From the devices screen, we'll select the flag icon at the top right corner to open the notifications menu. I'll hit the settings wheel to adjust notification settings. Here, I have several options. Since these flags are all white, Island isn't tracking anything for this device yet. I want to know if my phone goes offline, so I'll click the flag next to offline. When it's a blue flag, that means Island is logging it, but not sending a push notification. When I click the flag again, it turns red. This means Island is notifying. Now, anytime my laptop is disconnected from the network, I'll receive a push notification on my phone. The notifications menu isn't limited to any particular device. It's hierarchical. You can hit the flag icon at the top right from any device, user, or group, and you'll be adjusting notifications for that device, user, or group specifically. So if I want to create a notification for just my phone, I can go back to devices, select my phone, and then click the flag. Please note that notifications for users and groups are triggered by the entire user or the entire group. For example, if I set an offline notification for my media group, which contains my TVs, I'll only be notified if all my TVs go offline. If you open the notification menu from the dashboard, you'll be able to set up notifications for your entire network as well. While Island has many more features available, if your network has been set up or is being managed by a reseller or integrator, we strongly recommend you preserve your network configuration. Adjusting advanced network settings could mess up configurations necessary for network communication, such as making your smart lights work. Please contact your Island reseller before digging into more features or enabling Geek Mode.